Alright guys, listen. Marvel Zombies is one of the wildest, most bonkers stories Marvel ever put out. Like, you think you've seen Dark. Nah, this takes it to a whole other level. I mean, imagine Spider-Man literally eating Aunt May and Mary Jane, and then crying about it while still being hungry. Yeah, that's the kind of crazy we're diving into today. But the real question is this: how the hell did Earth's mightiest heroes, the people we look at as gods, end up turning into flesh-eating monsters? Let's start at the beginning. So here's how it goes down. Marvel Zombies didn't even start in its own book. It started as this little twist in Ultimate Fantastic Four. Reed Richards thinks he's talking to an alternate version of himself from another universe. Pretty standard comic book multiverse setup, right? But nah, this Reed isn't out here sharing science tips. It's Zombie Reed. Dude's like, yeah, open the door, bro. Trust me, we're cool. And Reed, being Reed, falls for it. And the second that portal opens, forget it. You're in a whole different nightmare. That's when Marvel spun it off into its own thing. And man, they did not hold back. At first it's just shocking to see iconic characters in zombie form. But then you realize, these aren't mindless walkers. They're smart. They've got powers. They remember who they are. They just can't stop the hunger. That's the key detail. These aren't your slow, brainless Walking Dead zombies. Iron Man is flying around missing chunks of his body, still cracking jokes, while blasting people mid-flight because he's starving. Wolverine's running around, claws out, still trying to act like the tough guy. But when he turns, it's not about villains anymore. It's about who's the next meal. And then there's Spider-Man. His story might be the darkest. Peter doesn't just get turned. He eats Aunt May and Mary Jane, the two people he spent his whole life protecting. The guilt wrecks him. He literally cries while saying he couldn't stop himself. And then, and this is the messed up part, the hunger comes back. He's mourning what he just did, but he's already scanning the room for his next victim. That's when you realize, this isn't a gag. This is Marvel saying, we're gonna break your heart and make you sick at the same time. Now let's talk about one of the coldest moments, Magneto. When the infection spreads, Magneto's basically the last guy standing, and he knows what's coming. The Avengers, the X-Men, all his enemies, all his allies, and they're all zombies now. So Magneto, he picks up scrap metal, sharpens it into weapons, and he goes full last stand mode. He takes on the infected Avengers, Cap, Iron Man, Luke Cage, and for a hot minute, he's holding them back. But no matter how powerful he is, the numbers are overwhelming. And when Magneto finally goes down, you realize, if he couldn't stop them, nobody can. And here's the kicker. The zombies don't just kill him. They keep him alive long enough to eat him piece by piece. Tell me that isn't one of the most brutal ways Marvel has ever handled a major character. And then you've got Hulk. Oh my God, Hulk is nightmare fuel. So here's the deal. When Banner turns into the Hulk, he's got this healing factor and endless stamina. So when he gets infected, he eats until his stomach literally bursts. Like, he eats an entire person, his body can't handle it, and his guts just explode everywhere. But then he calms down, shrinks back into Banner, and when he hulks out again, he's hungry all over again. It's this endless cycle of gluttony and pain, and the artwork doesn't shy away from it. It's disgusting, it's horrifying, and it's Marvel saying, even the strongest Avenger isn't safe. But if you want disturbing on another level, Hank doesn't just give in to the hunger like everyone else. He takes it a step further. He decides, what if I store fresh food? So what does he do? He keeps Black Panther alive, cuts off little pieces of him, keeps him chained up like livestock in his lab. And that's, to me, is scarier than anything else in this story. Because it's not mindless hunger anymore. It's cold. It's calculated. It's evil. Black Panther's resilience through that, pure heroism. Dude survives mutilation and captivity, and he still fights back when he gets the chance. That storyline alone could have been its own horror comic. But Marvel wasn't done. They had to escalate it. What's scarier than Zombie Avengers tearing through humanity? Zombie Avengers taking on Galactus. Yeah, the devourer of worlds shows up, ready to feast on Earth. And the zombies, they flip the script. They swarm him. They overwhelm him. And they eat Galactus. Think about that. The guy who literally snacks on planets becomes a snack himself. And then the zombies absorb his power. They become cosmic-level predators, flying off into space, devouring entire civilizations. That's when it stops being horror and becomes cosmic terror. Because now it's not just Earth at risk, it's the entire universe. So yeah, Marvel Zombies isn't just a gimmick. It's Marvel saying, let's strip away the hope. Let's strip away the heroism. Let's see what happens when your gods turn into monsters. Spider-Man's guilt, Magneto's last stand, Hulk's endless hunger, Giant Man's twisted logic, and then the ultimate gut punch, Zombie Galactus Avengers wiping out galaxies. It's disturbing, it's tragic, and honestly, it's brilliant storytelling, and fans loved it. That's why we got sequels, crossovers with Ash from Evil Dead, even a What If episode in the MCU. But the big question Marvel Zombies leaves you with is simple. If the people you trust the most become the threat, what's left to believe in? Anyway, that's the madness of Marvel Zombies. Next time, we might have to dive into the crossover with Army of Darkness, because if you think this was nuts, that story takes it to a whole new level.